Wow, that's really loud. Was that really loud to you?
It's it's pretty epic, that's for sure.
I mean, it's epic, but it feels like anyway. Welcome everybody
Yeah,
to Prep Talk Live,
it's
to
good. Yeah,
episode number 5. We're saying goodbye to 2021. We're excited to be here. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch as usual, and with me as always is Cliff, the urban prepper. What is up, Tup? How are things in your world?
things are going good. Just one more day of this year, and planning a bunch of fun stuff for early next year. But yeah, things are going good. Just I have the last 2 weeks off of the year for work, and so spending a lot of family time, so which is fun. So
Very
and
nice, very
we
nice.
have some snow too right now in the Northwest, so that's been nice. So
Yeah, exactly. There have been so many snow days. So many
yeah,
snow days. And my kids are so upset because they're getting so many snow days during winter break. When when it's like their last time they were complaining because they got sick over the weekend, and now they're
yeah.
getting snow days when they're like there's no winning with them. There's no winning with them. How is it? How is it up there? Are you getting enough to like make snowmen? They were making pathetic little tiny snow minions. Are you getting enough
That's
to
pretty
actually
cool.
make a snowman?
We haven't done any snowmen, but my kids have been doing sledding, and so we've been making some epic ramps. And I get to test out some of my winter preps during this time. But most of the time, I'm just watching them sled, and they're doing the saucer sleds like Clark Griswold, and then they're also doing some other ones. So they've been having a blast. So the kids love it. And then for me as a prepper, I get to try out different winter preps that I've been meaning to. So
Yeah, the snow, we don't often get enough. We get the dusting
yeah,
sometimes in the Northwest. We don't necessarily in the mountains of the Northwest you get tons of it. But in like the city area and the valleys, we don't usually get a ton of it. There's usually like the threat of snow, and then all of a sudden everything's closed and it doesn't matter. So
yeah,
actually getting an opportunity to try out the snow pants and the snow clothes
yeah.
and the traction devices and all of that is always nice when it's not the epic apocalyptic ice storm that you can get
The
sometimes.
snowpocalypse. What's
Yeah,
your current go-to winter jacket for this kind of season?
I'm so glad you asked, Cliff.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
glad. The go-to, so I am Columbia Sportswear. We actually live very close to um, the Columbia
River.
corporate headquarters. Well, that too, but the headquarters and the employee store. And so we end up having some friends that can get us passes from time to time to go to the employee store there. Which, if you
Nice.
can get a Columbia store employee pass, it's fantastic. Um, I almost it, we also live by Nike, so it's kind of like the Nike employee store passes, the Columbia passes, the Adidas, like shoes for days. But I enjoy it, and I've got the I don't know the model, but it's a ski jacket type with the interchangeable lining, so it can
Nice.
be more of like a rain weight jacket, but then you can zip in the kind of fleece or the down layer if it's super cold, and then it's got a bunch of pockets. So I actually keep a pair of gloves and a hat zipped into one of the pockets always. So even in the summer, if it's raining, I have a jacket or a hat or a gloves if I want to. But I really, really love that. How about you? What's your go-to?
Well, right now my go-to for I've been using called the Paxture. It's a smaller brand, but I did previously reviewed. It's a nice warm winter jacket. That's kind of
Go check out the video.
yeah. Go check out the
Get
video.
Tough a little monetization loop here. Let's make that
But
happen
it
for
has
us.
a lot of It's similar to like the Scotty vest in that it has a lot of cool pockets and storage areas, which I like because I have a lot of stuff that I like carrying with me. But it's plenty warm. And then I've been testing out different outfits that I have for like bug out bags and stuff, just to make sure. Okay, would I be good to go if I had this particular outfit on for the snow? So
Yeah, the bug out bags and switching it out. The Costco has some. Are you have allergies? Do you have what is happening in your eyes? Is
the
this
light is like way too bright, so I need to turn it. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because it's killing me.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let your studio
Oh
attack you,
man,
Tup. Oh,
sorry.
that's
Oh,
so much better.
I
And
was getting emotional talking about all these preps and everything, and it was just making me
you know,
my eyes
I
water.
wasn't sure if it was just the amazingness of the preps that was bringing a tear to your eye, or
No,
if your retinas were
I have one of
burning.
those ring
What?
lights, and it was like on maximum brightness, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't look at it.
Oh my goodness. I'm waiting. I've got a one of my little side projects has been redoing my office as you can see from the empty shelves and everything. And I
Yeah,
have this whole arm contraption now that is on the corner of my desk that holds microphones and the camera and all this stuff. And so I haven't hooked the light up to it yet. But I'm the goal is to set it up and not blind myself. Although
yeah, that was my fault. I'm sorry. I went 100% on the light there. It's making me
you went full brightness.
Yeah.
Never go full brightness. Never go full prepper.
Yeah, don't go full prepper. Never go full prepper. I saw we have a shout out request from Alex. It says, please give a shout out to my daughter,
Balin. We'll call her Miss B. How about that?
This is B. Yeah, Miss B.
Miss B.
This is your formal shout out.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Prep Talk Live. We hope that both you and her are subscribed. Hey, it wouldn't hurt. We'll just bring it up right now. Go ahead, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like button down below. We got, I don't know, almost 20 people watching right now across the various streams and channels and everything. So go ahead and hit the like button on whichever channel or stream you're on. It looks like we got people on Facebook. We got people on YouTube.
At a restaurant right now.
They're at a restaurant.
Yeah, that's nice.
ATX. Now, is it ATX or is it ATL? Are you in Atlanta or I don't know what ATX.
I don't know what ATX
is, but we're gonna assume it was a typo in Atlanta unless they come back and say otherwise. But it's good that we have a variety of things. I saw someone also shouting out from Okinawa. We got somebody from the UK. Oh, Austin, Texas. That's what they meant. They meant Austin, Texas.
Got it.
So we you know what? I feel like this may be our most global show.
Someone's from Okinawa. Oh wow, that's awesome.
We've
been watching Cobra Kai lately as a family, and I know that's the birthplace of Miyagi Do Karate. So it was Okinawa, I think. So.
Oh yeah, no, that I think it is Okinawa in Mr.
Miyagi.
There.
That's
yeah. Titus Tuttle, if you could just, do you know? I mean, you're in Okinawa now. Is that a thing? Do we know that? Yes, he is. If it will come up here, military stationed out there. So yep, that's fantastic. And salute to all of our military servicemen and women, veterans who may or may not be watching. Thank you for your service while we're there, while we're on the topic. So let's talk about what we did last week, other than the fact that I ripped apart my office more. I actually saw somebody talking about the backdoor Roth IRA and stuff in the chat. And one of the things that I did this last week has been kind of finalizing all of the year-end paperwork and financials, both personally and then for our business. We have a consulting business that I run. And so at the end of the year, oftentimes things get drug out, and there are things that get missed and you're playing catch up. And so this year I really wanted to kind of nail end of the year and making sure that we got everything covered. We had all of the IRAs taken care of and all of that stuff. And so that was getting into Quicken and updating everything and making sure that the budgets looked right and making sure that we had the budget for next year already in place and everything was wonderful. And that's kind of on the financial prep planning. I think something that sometimes gets overlooked, is not the sexiest of preps, but I think is also super important. So that was what I was accomplishing over the last week, is going through paperwork and dotting I's and crossing T's in the numerical sense. How about you?
Cool. Well, I too was doing some office cleaning. I have a Scrum board for all of the various prepping projects, and so I got that. I'm starting off fresh for 2022 for the various projects. But as far as like a personal prepping project, I received a comment on Twitter from someone asking about my nightstand preps, like what preps do I have at my nightstand? And I was thinking, oh, I should probably, that's a good idea, because I should refine it, because I do have some certain items over there. But now I'm rethinking it as far as, okay, like what's the ideal prepper's nightstand? As far as, for me, the things I'd be worried about when I'm in bed would be one for like security, the other one would be for earthquake, and the other would be for fire. I think those are and maybe like power outage type stuff. So I'm cleaning up what I have at my nightstand, and I'm making some organizational modifications to it for those three main emergency type situations. So maybe I'll do a video on it, but I'll again,
how many of the things on your Scrum board now are from Prep Talk Live ideas? Because I feel like we'd have a list of all the
Yeah, I have a running list. It's more of a notepad. It'll eventually make its way over to the Scrum board. Uh, but yeah, so I'll probably make a video of the nightstand, what I have by my prepper's nightstand. Again, all prepping projects take like 20 times as long once you do a video for it.
Exactly.
If I was just doing it for personal reasons, it's pretty quick to do. But
Yeah,
one of the things that I had to get approval through corporate, for aka my wife, to add a fire extinguisher, because I've always wanted to have a fire extinguisher next to the bed, and now I have a 5-pound fire extinguisher there, which could be used for fire purposes, and also really probably ruin someone's day too if they got.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a bad. It would be a bad thing, and it's smoke screen. I mean, it works
perfectly legal.
Yeah, that's totally fine. We actually just got new nightstands. I put them together last night as I was watching the Oregon Ducks just absolutely implode in the bowl game that they were in, which I was so very excited about, and then it just was so very sad. But there's always next year, you know. So we were doing that, and as I was putting stuff back, I have a few preps in my nightstand as well. But your point about what you can refine and what you put in there, we got taller ones, so I have an extra drawer. So I could have like a whole prep drawer now that would just be for preps. I don't keep anything else really in my nightstand. So
I think the best. I mean, if you're going to have one thing by your bed, is having some shoes. Is the like tennis shoes, quick to put on ones. I like the Solomon brand because you don't really have to tie laces or anything, and they're super. So like wherever. Like I try to always keep fresh shoes for when I'm out and about, and then I retire the other ones into prepping kits. And so I've upgraded the shoes that are next to the bed, but I think it's important to have that for. We were just watching my son watch Die Hard for the first time, and the whole famous scene where he doesn't have shoes and has to walk on the glass. And as a prepper, I'm thinking, if there's an earthquake, I'm right by glass and stuff. I'd be worried about those kind of things. So you don't want to be trying to survive with no shoes on. So that was a valuable lesson by John McCain that I now incorporate into my prepping plans. So
and a very apropos. I mean, it is the holiday time still. So
it's a holiday movie too.
The Christmas movies just never cease to educate. The shoes are a big one. Gloves are one of the things that I've added just everywhere. Like the Home Depot. I don't remember the brand. I think I've had them in a couple of videos, but they're black like work gloves that are leather, and I keep those everywhere and have them in my nightstand. Flashlight is probably a good thing to have. I keep one of the car keys. We have a key fob for our home security system, and so I keep one of the extra key fobs in my nightstand so that I can hit the panic button if there was a security issue or something. That'll automatically, not only will it sound the alarm, but it will automatically call the police and fire and everybody else. So yeah, I think the nightstand preps are something that often I think gets overlooked, but it would make a great video topic.
Yeah, we have a similar one. Yeah, I'll try to crank out the video because while I'm doing it, it's nice and fresh and clean and everything like that. So
wait a minute, City Prepper has entered the chat.
Whoa, City Prepping's in the chat.
City Prepping has entered the chat. I would be interested to know what is in City Prepper's nightstand.
I think
because I can imagine.
I have some ideas what might be there, but I slept at City Prepping's house a couple years back on his futon because I was in town and visiting, and but I didn't check his nightstand. So next time I'm going to try to sneak into his room and see what's in his nightstand for preps.
I cannot wait for the video that gets made.
That'd be an awesome video.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about what was in his nightstand.
Yeah, he says secret things.
Secret things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's all kinds of dehydrated food in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, Sabre has a cool the brand Sabre that makes let's see, do I have some pepper spray nearby? Yeah, I usually have pepper. I have the Sabre brand that makes the pepper spray. They also have a nice panic button one, which I had in a different kit, and I actually moved into the nightstand because just if you need to wake up the kids or whatever, it's pretty loud. So, but we have a similar one for our alarm system as well.
Yeah, and the Sabre brand makes the great. I have the pepper gel that they make. I actually just restocked it because it has an expiration date on it, and I don't know. Kind of like with canned food and things and medication, like
it tastes funny.
Theoretically, you can go after a little ways, but like I don't know how long the pepper gel tastes. Cliff, if you're eating pepper gel,
Yeah.
you have really run out of
I like the
MREs and everything
jalapeno
else.
flavor for the pepper gel.
Of course. You go to like the Super Bowl party and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Doesn't really kick. Let me just
These
spray a
nachos
little of
aren't
this
doing it.
on.
Let's put some pepper gel on it. Pepper gel.
Pepper gel. It's pepper gel from
That should be someone's going to come out with that. It's going to be a big hit, I think. So.
That is fantastic. I think that could definitely work. But yeah, so I just ordered a bunch of those to restock everywhere, and they make fantastic.
Yeah, I ordered. I've been buying so much of the Saber pepper gel. I added it on all of our bikes now have it on there, so for quick access. Now it's on all the nightstands. I have it on every single exterior door of our house. So then just in case I needed to have something, so it's all over the place right now. So
yeah, exactly.
I didn't know that it expired. So I imagine that whatever the pressure it is that to make it go probably goes bad after a little bit. So
probably, I think, and that's and the gel is one of those things that's a good thing to look for on Amazon, because occasionally it goes on sale there, but also they sell it at Cabela's, and you can oftentimes get the discounted gift cards for Cabela's, so you can save 10 to 15% on it if you buy it from Cabela's using the discounted gift cards. So
nice.
That's another little prepper budget hack.
Nice. And I like the gel because it's again, you don't have to worry about the wind as much with it or having blowback, and it's also like the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park, where once it gets on you, it's you're having a bad time. So
yeah, exactly. You don't want to deal with the
I've never sprayed myself with the pepper gel though. I don't think it's worth it, but for a video.
I feel like that's one of those things that's like I don't know, like police officers and things, like I know they tase themselves,
like a rite of passage.
I feel like that's important. I feel like if someone comes into my house, I don't want to know what it would be like that is just, I don't want to have to think. I just want that person out of the house. I don't want to know what the pain is. I just want to assume that it's awful and go away.
That's funny.
Maybe it's just me. So let's get into I forgot to hit the little overlay thing. I got all my overlays and things and just got all right. Preps for me. Prepping ideas, prepping recommendations. Mine this week is the Sterilite containers. And Tup, I know you've done lots of videos on organization. You are the prepping organizational guru and king of all time. So your color-coded lids are fantastic. I love all of those. I went through a process over the summer of kind of trading out a lot of my tubs. And now I have gone from kind of the Sterilite tubs. They used to have the kind of indentions on the end. I now have these Sterilite tubs instead. And they have them at Target. You can get them on Amazon too. But what I love about them is that they latch. So in case of like an earthquake situation or something, if things start falling around, hopefully this will try and contain some of the things. As well as they have this actual flat edge. So with the other ones, they had a dent. And so you actually lost storage space. You couldn't put squared things in it. It didn't really work very well. These now have this kind of flat side. So it's much more efficient to pack with. They're really sturdy. So I really enjoy this. This is kind of the small one. So I keep my little prepper knickknacks in here for all the videos that I'm planning on making. There's some 511 things in here, and there's some waterproof things and duct tape, all the things that are still going into videos that are in my office right now. But they also make a larger size where you can actually put, emergency food and medicine. So we have that for all of the back stock that's in the garage goes in there. The fact that they're clear means that you can kind of see it. So if like the colors of preps, that's really great because you can identify the color. But we often have like if there's a babysitter or a family member staying over something that I'm about as prepped out as our family gets. So when I think about extended family, they're not going to know that orange is whatever or yellow is whatever. But if they can see through it, then it means that they would also know what's in there. I've had some people show me that they put actual pictures and you could put pieces of paper in there that say what it is. I've got a QR code system that I'm going to try also. There you can put the QR code on the side of the tote.
That's awesome. That's a good idea.
So, but anyway, so that's my recommendation. The Sterilite, the purple latch Sterilite containers from Target or Amazon.
Yeah, I get the same ones for some of the. I have them in my office back here. Where I wish that you could replace the handles for different colored versions of it. Then that way you could help with the
Of course.
organization of it. But
Why don't you just take them? They can pull off.
Yeah,
you should.
You would
paint
think that
them.
you should be able to buy handles for them because they do pull off. So
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a summer project of you to take the handles off and paint them, and then put them back, just like you did with the lids.
now we're talking. I think that's a good idea. So
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, yet another video idea.
When you make that video, 30
I see
videos
someone saying that those tubs are fragile when cold or below freezing and the handles fall. Yeah, these are for like indoor kits. I think I don't have them like they're never below room temperature for my kits or whatever. But yeah, those Sterilite. I mean, they're cheap. They cost a couple bucks. So yeah, they will crack if you have them outside. But for indoor,
and I think Sterilite. I think Sterilite makes a couple of different versions. These are thicker than some of the super cheap ones. So these are the little ones. I think are $5.
Yep.
And the bigger tubs are like 10. I think they make ones that are like one level down in quality. But yeah, I keep these in the garage. And granted, it gets cold in there. It doesn't get freezing necessarily. I have a couple of them that I keep outside. I haven't had any issue with the brittleness due to cold. I have had some that I've left out that have gotten wet, and like we just left them out in the yard because the kids were playing with them. And after 6 months in the yard with the sun and everything else, those have broken down. But I haven't had these break down at all.
Yeah, I have a lot of different bins in the garage. We have the more industrial size ones that I spray painted, and they're all color organized. And I haven't had any problems with the lids on those ones. Those Sterilite ones, eventually I have Sterilite ones that are 10 years old, and they're they cost like $1, I think, and I've definitely got my money's worth. Eventually, sometimes they'll break down, but then you just get a new one, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, those are awesome.
At some point, everything will break. I mean, except for maybe like
that's like probably the greatest invention is like making stuff that breaks after a while, because you don't want it to never. If you're a manufacturer, you don't want it to never break. Like you have some shovel that lasts 100 years, like
exactly,
passed down from generation to generation.
Yep. And this is a great tip to include the little oxygen absorbers and the desiccant packs. If there's a gasket, the ones that I have don't have the gasket, so they're not airtight, so you don't have the humidity issue. But they do make ones that do have a gasket, and if you are using those, you definitely don't want to end up with a mold issue or mildew, or especially metal objects that are in there that can get rusted if there's extra humidity.
Yeah.
So great tip. All right, Tup, what's your recommendation of the week?
I was just thinking what I last bought, and the last stuff that I bought has been on fire prep. So some extra fire extinguishers. We have I had a good amount of like the 2.5 pound ones, but I felt like I needed more 5 pound fire extinguishers. So I went and purchased a few of them through Amazon, and I purchased a few locally through a local shop. I prefer the 5 pound Amerex are the ones. Whatever fire extinguisher that you get, I'd recommend going with the ones that have the metal handles, because those ones typically are refillable versus like a one-time use, the cheapo plastic ones. Like if you get a first alert one, oftentimes you can't refill those ones. Then also the Kidde, I don't know how to pronounce it, but KIDDE. But the Amerex is the one that we get for the home. And so my recommendation is to have a fire extinguisher in every, of course, have one in the kitchen and in the garage and like maybe the main living one. But I also think having one in your bedroom for anywhere there's a body, I think it should have a fire extinguisher there.
Yes.
One for fires, two for kind of personal protection too. So,
also make sure when you're reaching for the fire extinguisher, you don't accidentally reach for the prepper gel at the same time. Make sure that it's very clear which thing you're grabbing for, because it could go very wrong. Make
sure that when you do get the fire extinguisher that you cut off, there's usually a gray plastic ring that's protecting it from like opening when it's in the store. Make sure you take that off before you put it into place, because you don't want to have a fire or something happen and then, oh crap, I have this thing on there I forgot to cut off. And but yeah, that's I wish I had it here as a prop. I should next time I'll have my my prep of that I recently purchased. But
Yeah.
again, I have a lot of those fire extinguishers, but some of them have to be refilled, and so I have to go take those ones to the shop. And in the meantime, I have the
Mhm.
replacements that are there for just in case. So I've never had to use one in a real fire though. Actually, for our barbecue, I've had to use one, but not like in the house.
Now, does that speak more to like the situation or your cooking, or like when we're talking about the barbecue on
Yeah,
fire?
what happened is
Like,
that I forgot to clean out the grease pan that's at the bottom of it, and so it was
mhm.
like like somehow caught on fire, and so I had this humongous
God.
fire going on, and I had the ones that I was so excited because I've always wanted to use a fire extinguisher for a real fire, and so my wife's freaking out, and I'm like, oh crap, which one do I want to use? And so I picked up one of those
Which one
cans.
do I want to? Hold
Yeah,
on, wait a minute. The house is on fire.
well,
Hold
it was
on. Let
outside.
me. Do I want the gray one? Do I want the sport model? Like which one is? Meanwhile, everything is going up. Like,
Those are prepper dilemmas that we
do
have.
I
Like,
want to use the big one, like so I could really get in it, or do I want like the dualies? Like, what do I want to do?
That's exactly the conversation that we had. She's like, "Hurry, hurry, hurry!" I'm like, "No, no, no, wait! I want to see. Like,
You,
get your camera."
yeah, exactly. You get there, and it's like, don't even worry about it. It's already
Yeah.
smoldered. It's done. It's over.
So actually use one of the it's like a can. It's like a spray bottle almost, because I've always wanted to try it out, and it worked really well for that fire. It totally put it out, and I forget the Fire Be Gone, I think is the brand of that one, and that worked out well. But I had like 4 different options, and I wanted to make sure that my wife filmed it, and I'm like, "No, make sure you film it in landscape and not in portrait, so I could use it on YouTube." So
This is the most prepper related content moment I think that has ever happened on YouTube ever. There's a fire. Hold on. Let's make sure now, honey,
yeah,
are we in 4K? Are we 4K 60 or 4K 30? I just want to make
yeah.
sure if we need to go slow-mo that we've got it covered. Okay, now let's do the product shot. Make sure we got the label pointed to there for
That's
possible
exactly
sponsorship
that's the
opportunities.
conversation, but it happened really quickly. Put it in landscape. Put it in landscape.
Oh my
Did
god,
you get
that's
it?
it.
Did you get it?
Is the lighting good? Is it are
Yeah,
my glasses okay? Like
yeah,
what? That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Um, when you're talking about the different fire extinguishers,
yeah.
when you're talking about 2.5 pound, 5 pound, just for reference, because I think most people maybe think about like a kitchen fire extinguisher that's kind of the long, tall, skinny one.
Yep.
Then you've got more of like the beefier, thick one that you might see like at a school or something like that. And then
Yep.
I've seen little tiny ones that go like in cars
Yeah.
that are like half size. When you're talking about 2 pound and 5 pound, what range in there are we talking about?
So the 2.5 pound one is going to be the tall, skinnier one, and that one
Mhm.
I would recommend having that in your car over the tiny one. And there's a
Yep.
few different types that you could get, as far as like the ABC versus like Purple K or something like that. Um, it's best just to go with the ABC, I think, for the most part. But the
Mhm.
2.5 ones is a good one to have in the kitchen. I think that it's good to have a 5 pound, which is that's gonna be probably that much in diameter.
Yep.
The 2.5 one's gonna be like that. The five
Mhm.
pound one will probably have a little spray handle on it too. The 2.5, you
Yep.
don't typically have that. And then there's different with the letters with the ABC that all stands for what it actually puts out. And like you want the K ones for grease fire, so that works best. But the ABC, for the most part, it works for a lot of the fires that uh that I've made
Yeah,
and done for
exactly.
videos.
And at that
Purple,
point, like you should just be running anyway. So like
yeah,
if
and
whatever it
Purple
isn't
K
gonna.
is a good one for like if you're in for your garage, and that's like what they use for like race cars and stuff like that. But once you spray it, it's like it's quite the mess, and it'll definitely put out the fire, but you'll also have to probably redo your entire engine. Or for example, the one that I like for vehicles is the oh geez, why am I spacing on it? I don't uh HDI Performance. It's the halogen. Is that the one?
Oh, Halon?
It's not halon, but it's a different word
Okay.
for it. It's like the environmentally safe halon.
Oh,
Uh,
got it. Okay.
and it's made by HDI Performance is the company. Those are the ones that I have in our vehicles because those ones are clean. It's a clean cleaning agent, so it's like halon, but it's not going to put a hole in the ozone or anything like that. And it's you could spray it on there, and you don't have to clean your engine afterwards. And so that's the ones that I recommend for your vehicles, and then also for the garage because it puts out the fire. Two, it doesn't have this humongous mess of powder and stuff that you would get for the other ones. But
What this
But it's
means
also
is
super expensive too.
yeah, I can hear my wife texting me right now not to go to Amazon and go buy whatever it was that you just told me to buy.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
I
you should.
I now, because we're on stream, I have put all of my notifications on do not disturb. So I can't see that text when it comes in. I just feel like it's coming.
Okay,
Uh,
so the one to get for your vehicle is the H3R Performance Hal Guard Fire Extinguisher. It's expensive, but so are cars. So
yeah,
it's a
that's a great point, and I'm sure if we buy enough of them, like there's probably a bulk discount or something.
yeah.
So, we'll work on that. I'm sure we can make that work. Um, so let's talk about to prep or not to prep.
Okay.
2021 is almost over.
Yep.
We got like 48 hours and we're out of it.
Yep.
The number of TikToks I have seen about tiptoeing into 2022 reminded me of all the TikToks that there were about tiptoeing into 2021 that did not work.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to talk about is, as we go into the next year, what do you think about, planning, goals? Is there something that you really want to accomplish in 2022 from a prepping perspective that you didn't do in 2021? What did you accomplish in 2021 that, was a big goal that you accomplished going forward?
Yeah, I think for 2021, the goals that I had were again food and it's kind of boring to talk about, but the food and water is
Yeah.
always the most important ones. We basically I got better at the home gardening and the stuff that we're able to produce now, and we expanded our garden territory and have
Hmm.
dedicated. I got a little bit better at doing potatoes, got a little bit better at doing tomatoes, and just slowly getting better at all those things enough that we could start drawing some of them. So I got better at that, and then I also significantly improved my pressure canned meats over the past year. That was my big goal, was just pressure canning, especially proteins, because I feel like that's uh, you could store a lot of protein in a freezer, but if you run out of power at your house, then that's going to go bad eventually. But the
Yeah.
pressure canned ground beef and chicken and pork and stuff, I wanted to make sure I had 50 jars for spaghetti, and I wanted to have 50 jars for other things. So I was kind of planning a lot of the meals, and we're a meat eating family, so it's, I guess,
Hmm.
for the vegans it's not as important. But again,
Exactly.
we only eat vegan animals in our home, so it's don't worry. So
That's very sweet
I
of you.
don't we don't eat carnivore animals. So
No, 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 no. You
we don't eat lions. We don't
there's,
nothing like that.
there's no tiger meat
There's no
going
tiger
into
meat
the
in the Tough
spaghetti
household.
at.
No.
There might be at City Prepper's house. I don't know what they
City
put in the
Prepping has
spaghetti.
tiger meat. Yeah, he's yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if
I've
there was
seen it.
tiger meat.
He has the dehydrator and all that stuff, and has that.
Does he have a freeze dryer?
Yeah, he has a super nice. I think he's gonna probably start like a City Prepping beef jerky line or something like that, or
Okay,
some number 10 cans. Yeah, he's a nice one.
so we have a dehydrator that we've used for making jerky and stuff.
Yeah,
I've been kicking around for a couple of years now the idea of a freeze dryer, like the Harvest Right freeze dryer, especially because of the food sensitivity issues that we have in our house and
yeah,
stuff. A lot of times, the emergency food that you find, it just wouldn't work for everybody in our family, and so I've been kicking around and kicking around. And the other day, my wife didn't tell me out and out no, like she has every other time I've brought it up. She
yeah.
didn't say yes, but she didn't say out and out no. So I'm contemplating. I feel like I'm wearing that down a little bit, that we might get closer there. And I think there could be some interesting content around that. But I wasn't sure if anybody else that we know has a freeze dryer, because they're also a pretty significant
It's a big
investment.
yeah, it's a big investment. So, but you could do so many cool things, like all of your leftovers just freeze dried afterwards
Yeah,
and put it in a
exactly.
bag. I mean, it makes, if you use it, it's a good purchase for that, because they work really awesome. But
Well,
uh,
and I've wondered too, like when you're talking about, and we have Doc Michael talking about ugly chicken.
yeah, I'll
Uh,
definitely go for ugly chicken. Yeah,
yeah, with the pressure canning of the meat, that's something I haven't gotten into yet. I've done the canning of, we've done pickles, I've
yeah,
done sun-dried tomatoes that we get out of the garden and that sort of thing. I haven't done the meat yet and the pressure canning. But one of the things that concerns me about that is, in an earthquake situation,
yeah.
then you've got, like, you don't have the power outage issue from the freezing, but you have glass jars that could be falling.
Yeah.
Is that something to be concerned about? And is there something out there that you could can in that's not glass? that's like a plastic or an acrylic or something that would
Yeah,
work similarly.
I don't know about that. I like using glass for almost like now I had the glass. I like having glass water and stuff because it like the glass doesn't go bad. Like the other plastics and stuff, I'm worried about it leaching and stuff. But
Yeah.
I think for what we do is we just store them low on the shelves. So if they do fall, they don't fall too far. So
They just fall a little bit. They
but
don't.
yeah, they fall a little bit. And I actually should
Yeah.
probably improve the storage thing to have. I see some people where they have like bands and stuff that go around their shelving to help if it earthquake does happen, that it'll help catch it from falling too. So I should that's a good idea. Again, another thing I need to work on. So
Exactly. You know, now
but,
I have seen some other channels that do this sort of a thing where they do the videos like together, not together, but they do two different versions of the same video, and then they put it and they like bounce off of each other. So that could be a thing. We could like schedule some of these out and be like, oh, you're gonna do the nightstand and I'll do the nightstand, and then
okay.
we could compare, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And then we get in the infinite monetization loop where I react to your nightstand and you react to my nightstand.
Keep having hashtag and have them all together.
Exactly. City Prepper is talking about his nightstand. I bet Canadian
with
Prepper
that
doesn't
with
have
that tiger meat in there.
tiger meat. I bet Canadian Prepper doesn't even have a nightstand. I bet he doesn't even sleep. It's just he's just awake always. But so I think that's so. Then for 2022, what do you have on the horizon for 2022?
You know, I need to. I'm putting together my Scrum board, so I don't want to give off too much as far as like YouTube type projects. I have things in the work, but the thing that we need to get better at is our. I'd like to get a home propane generator. It's like I'm tired. I'm tired of these little portable ones, and I'm tired of. I just want to go big on it. So, but it costs a decent amount of money, so I need to. Kind of like having the freeze dryer or whatever, that's a significant thing to get. I think if I could by the end of the year have it so we could run our house on natural gas or propane, I'd be pretty happy with ourselves at that one. So then I don't have to worry about like the other generators that we do have for power outages, because over the last year we've had different power outages, and the thing that we're trying to, because it's not a real emergency situation, the things that we're trying to save are like fish tanks, aquariums, and like save the fish and
save the fish.
But if it was a real emergency, the fish are going to they're going to fend for themselves, because
they're going to be delicious, is what they're going to be. They're going to be fantastic.
Some sushi and stuff.
All of a sudden, your tropical fish are now all tilapia.
Yeah.
That's all that's in there.
It's like a hydroponics thing that we're going.
When you decide that you want to do the generator thing, let me know. I
heard you have like I may
know a guy.
You know some people, so
yeah, I may know a guy.
Yeah.
So I think, and for me, I think 2021, one of the big things that I was working on was you are the king of PDFs and all the PDFs and everything. So I kind of came up with my own that I was hoping to kind of push out this week. It's going to be probably into 2022. So it's going to become a 2022 thing, but more of a planner sort of a thing with kind of sections and things so that people can do that. So that was one of the things that I wanted to put together, kind of culminating a lot of the things that I've learned and then making it more available to people.
Nice.
I think the generator was a big one this year, getting that in place. And I think, the pandemic, kind of the continuation of it has been a thing about staying on top of everything, staying on top of all the preps, because things tend to change weekly, daily, hourly, it seems sometimes. And so being ready to actually enact all of the preps that you have, I think is really great. So I think this was kind of, for as much as I thought 2020 was kind of a dress rehearsal for the first quarantines and the first lockdowns and all of that sort of stuff, I feel like 2021 was a good dress rehearsal for now that that, what do you do and how do you maintain it? I think that was it. And I think going into 2022, there are some of those big things, possibly the freeze dryer. There are some other big projects that I'm considering. My wife was talking about a prepper trailer sort of a thing.
Oh man. Okay, sorry.
So that's, I think, the issue I got with that is I got to find a place to park it.
Yes.
If I had space in the driveway, it would already be here. but I need to find a place to park it. So that's a thing that's
I've been
on the
I've been
road.
totally thinking about that as well. I added a trait week because we've been doing bike riding, and so I've been working on my bug out bikes setup.
Mhm.
And so we're getting trailer hitches on all the vehicles now. And then I'm like, well, man, that would be great for a prepper, like for a bug out vehicle. It's just I could put all my modules back there and have it all color organized and enclosed and locked and everything. But yeah, having a place to store it and park it is the problem. But I think having a bug out trailer would be it'd be a good video. I think it'd be a good video.
I think it'd be a great video. I think
Yeah.
the trick is, I think, trying to determine. I feel like it could be one of those projects that could just snowball.
Yep.
And so I think it has to be something that we get real specific on what the use case is. Because I could see it as, we go camping every year. We use that. I often use that as my trial run for all of our preps and all of our stuff and systems and everything. Usually we go to Home Depot and rent a trailer and put all the camping stuff in it so it doesn't bog down the car and go. And we've kind of got that size trailer is great for all the tents and the sleeping bags and the totes and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like, if it was a bug out situation, I'd almost be tempted to want more of like an RV sort of a thing or something where, okay, what I really want is a mobile home type of a location that has all of that stuff to go in, as opposed to having to go get the trailer and have all of that stuff in it. So I feel like that's where we could snowball and as we say in the technical world, scope creep. I
Yep.
feel like we would encounter a lot of scope creep potentially with this project.
Yeah, I think if you could do it for because RVs are expensive, but if you could do it for a certain budget, that's kind of the gateway into the RV. But yeah, going full on Heisenberg Cousin Eddie style with the RV would be that'd be a cool way to go for Pepper. We don't have one, so but
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where there would be, we would start off with by the way, hi Prep for it. It's good to see you. Thanks for
Prefer. I hope you're doing well. I know that you're having some different health things going on, and it's glad to see that you're back home. And so, yeah, man, thanks for watching. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's one of those things that you could start off. I feel like it's like bug out bags and things where you start with one and then you decide, oh wait, I want a bigger one and I need this other thing, and then I want two, and then we need them for the family. And I feel like you could end up with 3 or 4 different trailers. You would have like the emergency stealth trailer, you would have the long bug out trailer, you would have the bug in trailer.
Yep.
It could be a whole thing.
Yeah, I need to. I think I started into prepping and with my YouTube channel with the whole bug out bag thing, but then I've really gone more towards bugging in now, and less for the bug out bags, or just simplifying it a little bit more. But I think the trailers that'd be cool. That makes for some cool videos. I think whoever has like an RV, like a prepper RV setup. I know that Fem Prepper has one, Wandering Beast. There's some folks that have some cool setups for that. But I think that that'd be kind of the way to go. I think for if you're having to evacuate. But again, it's going to take a lot for me to want to evacuate all the stuff that like your home base. But
yeah, and I think that's the other thing is in a bug. I think there's initially when you start going into this, you're like bug out is the buzzword. And so everyone wants a bug out bag, or where are we going, into the hills, into the mountains, whatever. And I think once you get into it for a while, you realize actually you probably want to stay put and you more go into a bug in situation and then an evacuation plan down the road or something, which I think is just it's the maturity of prepping. Do we call it maturity of prepping? As we have, I have Legos and a light up dumpster fire behind me right now. But there you go. Let's see. You have a fan.
Okay. I saw that one come in. Yeah, it's fun talking. I love talking with those guys. I feel like I'm kind of like I'm always smiling in it, and so I feel like I'm like the odd. But I think that's my job in that particular the think preparedness thing is to be kind of that alternative voice there and be the.
He's the ray of sunshine that
pierces I'm wearing like a buttoned-up shirt and smiling, and like and then we're talking about all these like dark topics, and hopefully I feel like there is a voice of those kind of people like us, like and so it's good to have like different type of voices. We're like the View for preppers.
Exactly. The View of preppers. I can see Canadian Prepper's head exploding right now. I just
as soon as I said it, yeah, that's
I don't know if anyone could, you know what, tag Canadian Prepper in this video or somewhere and let him know how he feels about being the on the View of prepping. That and tell him that Prep Talk Live, Cascadia Dispatch and Tup sent you. That would be fantastic. I can't wait.
I
Oh
saw
my
some
goodness.
other cool some comments and stuff talking about the the self-defense in every room. Yeah, that's a cool one. The goldfish are just tiny koi. Yeah, I had a friend when I was growing up in 6th grade that ate my goldfish. Like, I was so mortified.
The friend ate your goldfish? Where
Yeah,
did you grow up?
He's like, hey, I have your fish. Like, he took it in a cup and brought it to this tree house that we were at, and then ate my fish. And
he took your fish and then ate your
out
fish.
out of my room, brought it to our other friend's house. We were there in a tree house and ate it. And then I think he barfed it up back into the cup, and it was like, I'm no longer friends with him.
Well, I was gonna
say, and he can't come if there's an emergency. I remember that still. So you don't get any preps. No preps for you.
Yeah, exactly. Also, yeah. No preps for you. You're done. You're done. Yeah. Can't forget about Magic Prepper. Although Magic Prepper awesome. He's not on the Think Preparedness, but he still
I
has
want to talk to him again.
Show.
Yeah, I love Magic Prepper, and I think he's over in South. I sent him a Christmas card. I think he's in South Dakota. If I ever go back over there, I'd love to go meet him in person. So the way he presents stuff is because he does it in a way that's accessible, which I always appreciate. So
I'm waiting for the magic though. I'm waiting for him to pull out like dehydrated food from a sleeve or something.
Yeah. And when I was gonna say, I didn't know where the whole word Magic Prepper came from, but he was into magic cards back in the day, and so that's kind of how the name was born. So he was one of those guys, because I remember in high school, like, there was the magic card people would, like, they all had like the black trench coats and they sat in one particular section and was doing magic cards. But those things are worth a lot of money. You could probably get a lot of preps for some of those magic cards. So.
Exactly, magic cards and Pokemon. Like all of those things have come up and become much more. I didn't realize that he was from Magic the Gathering. I thought it was Magic. There's a crypto channel, Andre Jick, does crypto, and he does cardistry. So the movies like Now You See Me, where they were doing the heist, and it was a lot of card tricks and things like that. He actually did all of the card trick stuff in that movie.
Cool.
And so in his channel, when he's talking about crypto or finance or whatever, he always is doing like magic tricks and card tricks and things to illustrate the point of it. So I always thought when I saw his channel, I was like, oh, Magic Prepper, does he, like, that's his hook. That's his thing. He, does magic tricks. And then I was like, there's no magic tricks. Like, he's got great information, but I'm waiting for him to produce the rabbit that he is going to then eat out of a hat or something. And there's no rabbit out of a hat.
We should, that'd be fun to see though. We should
producing preps out of a hat. Let's get that message to him as well. Go ahead, tag him in this. Let him know we expect magic tricks and Canadian Prepper to be on the View. That's what I feel like we've gotten out of tonight's episode.
I didn't know. Okay, so Canadian Prepper on the actual View. So that'd be
either one,
because I know they're looking for that other voice on that show, and they're having some trouble from what I heard. But I think All America Prepper would be great to have on the View.
I would love to see.
The ratings would go off in the up in the roof. So.
I would love to see Canadian Prepper and All American Prepper, and then maybe we need a couple more preppers to do like a View of his own. Yeah. Like, why are there not a couple? Like, can we get like, I don't know, like, I would imagine like he could have like All American Prepper, and then maybe like California Prepper and Texas Prepper, or like Florida Prepper and New York Prepper or something, and then you can do like a whole thing with that.
There's I saw a comment here from I think that's again, great idea. I think it'd be cool, like having someone with like different personalities that every episode's slightly different. I see there's a comment here about the oldest canned food.
Thank you, Real Deal. I appreciate that. That's fantastic.
I've been researching various spam recipes because I have spam in our preps, but I don't have as many recipes as I'd like. And so I finally found the best spam fried rice, which is a good one. And I think there's various like the folks that live in like in the islands, like Hawaiian dishes and stuff for
Yep.
spam. So and I think you could. I would feel the most comfortable eating an old can of spam.
Yeah, I've heard that it has, and I think when you go to Hawaii and things, even like McDonald's and a couple of like the restaurants that on the mainland don't have it, have spam centric dishes
Yeah,
that they include because the local cuisine is spam centric in a lot of ways.
yeah.
That and pineapple.
I like spam, but my wife hates it. So I think my kids would probably like it, especially if it was diced up. I don't even think they would know. But
I have to say, I have never personally had spam. I feel like I may be missing out, and I may need to do a video
we should
of
probably do on a future
spam.
episode. We should probably just cook up some spam and try it out. I could give you
Spam recipes.
Yeah, some kind of spam recipe. Yeah,
I think that would be fit. We could do like a spam off.
yeah.
Talking about the infinite monetization loop, we'll do a spam off ratings review thing with the prepper view and the spam. That could be like the cooking segment on think preparedness. We'll come in and we'll make
I did
spam.
some research as I was because I was interested. I was talking to mother prepper last week, and I think we were talking about somehow we got to talking about spam too. Then I wanted to see how spam was made and all the different things. So yeah,
I've been
researching
to
spam over the past few days. So.
You found out how it was made, and then you were like, "I'm done." It's kind of like
actually
chicken nuggets.
It's just like pork. It's like pork shoulder that they have to kind of debone, and then they put it into a big mixing type thing, and then it has some different ingredients to help it preserve. But
Pony Girl grew up on spam. So Pony Girl, you might have some great recipes that we could include.
Yeah, I think it's great to have like for in your preps for again, I'm always concerned about meats and stuff for long-term storage, and I wouldn't want to eat spam daily, but I think maybe once a week would probably be pretty good for emergency situation. But you can put it in like top ramen or whatever, or mac and cheese, or it's simple things that you can make, or different soups, or for breakfast, or there's a lot of different options.
Somebody in the comments earlier was talking about that they went out and just bought a bunch of ramen the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they said that they have. I saw someone put a comment, something like they have ramen within 20 feet of them at all locations at their home.
It's ramen, pepper spray, and a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, so if you're in the laundry room, you want to have some ramen close by. If you're in the bathroom, ramen needs to be close by. So.
Toilet ramen. That's what we're calling it. It's a whole different thing. All right. I feel like that's a good spot for us to wrap up 2021 with toilet ramen.
Yeah.
So
things I never thought about until we get to talking with you.
Exactly. So I think this has been wonderful. Thank you all for watching, for joining. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to all the channels. Hit the like button. It helps to grow the channel. It helps to grow the show. I guess my 2022 project is to make sure that this actually gets up on a podcast. It was supposed to happen last week. I think it's going to happen this week. But we'll get that. So keep an eye out for that. If you have questions, if you have topic ideas for future shows, don't forget to leave them in the comments down below. All the comments, all the likes help with the algorithms and help get it out there.
The algorithms thing.
Yeah,
they don't like preppers.
No, they don't. But you know what? But we're the bad boys of prepping because we smile, and so the algorithm should like us. I mean, we got. We're working on it. We're making it happen.
The smiling prepper would be like a
smiling
serial killer or something.
I was gonna say this is the V for Vendetta guy or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks again, and Tup, thank you again for jumping into this. This has been a fantastic end of 2021. More to come in 2022.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful New Year, and we will see you next week on Wednesday at 5:30. Hopefully, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening and Happy New Year. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.